Welcome to the Weather Gurus podcast for Saturday night, October the 8th, 2022. Thank you for joining me. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest updates on tropical news as well as what's going on in the lower 48 United States. Right now, we're currently looking at Tropical Storm Julia. Tropical Storm Julia is located in the Caribbean Sea Basin as it makes its way a beeline straight for the coast of Nicaragua, making a landfall sometime tomorrow on Sunday. Tropical Storm Julia is expected to strengthen to a hurricane that's winds above 74 miles an hour, Category 1 hurricane tomorrow or tonight. And you can see pretty good convection happening in all four quadrants and pretty good high cirrus clouds outflow around it. Suggests strengthening is continuing. And explosive convection in the last few hours before nightfall, I should say, definitely signals that this is strengthening here as it passes over the San Andreas Islands here. San Andreas Islands out here in this Caribbean Sea. And some of the islands just to the north of Honduras, just to the northwest of Honduras there. So we'll continue to make its approach. And what we're mainly concerned about, of course, is flooding rains in the higher terrain of Nicaragua and Honduras and El Salvador to a lesser extent as Tropical Storm Julia makes its way into the approach. So the current statistics is wind 75 miles an hour. Pressure is down to 989 millibars. And as of the 8 o'clock p.m. advisory, it's officially a hurricane now. Hurricane Julia. Movement is west at 15 knots or 17 miles an hour. So Julia is moving pretty fast. And flash floods and mudslides are possible with Central America and southern Mexico through early next week. So this is going to be a huge rainmaker for Central America. Like I said, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, southern Mexico, and as it makes its way across. So this is what we're going to be looking at here. Forecast cone is pretty certain there as it makes its way across and transits the land barriers there. And by Monday at this time afternoon, it should be off the coast of Guatemala and Mexico in the Pacific Ocean. So it's going to transverse the whole line there, weakening into a tropical storm and a depression as it makes its way through. Hurricane warnings are extended for Nicaraguan coastline, and tropical storm watches have been extended for northern Honduras coastline on the eastern side there, and probably some of the Roatan Islands too as well in Honduras. So they have tropical storm warnings for them. Tropical storm watches, hurricane warnings, of course, for the Nicaraguan coastline as it continues its journey. Expected to make impact sometime early tomorrow morning. Between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. or 8 a.m. and 10 or 11 a.m. for that landfalling Hurricane Julia. So that's what we have going on in the tropics. That is the only system that we have in the basin here in the Atlantic or Caribbean or Gulf of Mexico basin right now. The Eastern Pacific Basin, according to the National Hurricane Center, looks quiet as well. And the Central Pacific Basin with Hawaii looks absolutely quiet, absolutely fabulous there as well. As far as our National Weather Service current hazards that we have going on right now, it's really a beautiful night. We've had this full moon going on, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this full moon will be one of the last full moons of the month, the super moon. And we also have two meteor showers to look forward to, one at close to the end of the month toward the 23rd to the 26th of October, if you're in the United States. And other places can see it too in the Northern Hemisphere. And also the other meteor shower that's going to be happening next week after we get past this Columbus Day holiday. So look out for that. But we have right now a few freeze warnings in effect for the central Ohio Valley. Anybody in Lexington, Kentucky, down through the Appalachians, up through Columbus, Ohio, over toward the Shenandoah Valley, from Waynesboro down through Staunton and Roanoke, and down through some of the hill country and hollow of West Virginia, and just a little bit of Maryland, the Panhandle, Maryland, out there in Garrett County, and the normal typical cold spots, Cumberland County there. They have a freeze warning in effect for that area. And also there's freeze warnings extended up here, even though it doesn't show it here, in the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania, and also some of the colder spots and valleys there in New York, upstate New York, and Adirondack country as well. So be on the lookout for that. We're getting toward that time now where we're going to be extending toward those freeze warnings there as well. Now there's a few flood warnings. The St. Johns River in Florida, it flows from south to north. So those folks in Palatka, Lake County, Interlachen, St. Augustine, for the First Coast, Palm Coast, Flagler County, if you're on the St. Johns River or one of its tributaries, those rivers are extended for a flood warning and a coastal flood warning. There's also flood warnings continuing for the Peace River, as you know, down in southwest Florida, still elevated there. I-75 was closed for a time between Punta Gorda and that exit heading north, getting into Charlotte County and Sarasota County, but it's back open now. But there is some still elevated rivers that's still in major flood stage and moderate to flood stage as it continues to come down. So that's good news there. So, and the rest of the country looks clear. Southwest looks clear. The upper Midwest looks clear. Things look absolutely great with that as well. Looking at the current radar, we do have some showers right now extending across from Oklahoma City to Amarillo along that I-40 corridor there and I-27 corridor there. So if you're coming out of Elk City, heading toward Amarillo and Albuquerque, New Mexico, there's heavy rain showers there as well. Showers continue east of Phoenix, Arizona, coming through I-10 down to Tucson, back through the rim country of Arizona there and the high country there, the Grand Canyon. There's showers there. Some of these showers are trying to make their way into the high deserts of California to the north of Mojave Desert of LA, but they're just becoming lighter and lighter as they do that. Elsewhere across the country, there is not much going on. Been clear skies in the upper Midwest, cool temperatures as it continues. That backdoor cold front continues to sweep through Minneapolis, North Dakota, South Dakota. They woke up to temperatures in the 20s and 30s Fahrenheit with wind chills much colder than that. So it's definitely fall, feeling like fall. Up in Canada, there's some showers continuing around Ottawa, the capital district, and some showers in northern Ontario from Barrie along the expressway there up north into Sudbury in the central Ontario there along the Trans-Canadian Highway there. Quebec and Montreal are experiencing some showers there along the St. Lawrence Valley there, extending anywhere up from Joliet up through just the St. Louis Valley, up through Rivieras there, Trois Rivieras there, and Laval will have some showers there. Just to the west, some of the northern suburbs of Montreal has some showers. Elsewhere across the country, things are looking absolutely fabulous and clear for the rest of the United States. And so all eyes on Julia, Hurricane Julia, tomorrow as it makes landfall. Our prayers and thoughts are going to be with them, the people of Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, and southern Mexico, as all of that rain is going to take a couple of days to clear, probably at least till Monday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, before the system really moves out and clears them of the rainfall. So flash flooding, mudslides, please be sure to get to higher ground, and do not try to cross rivers in cars or mopeds or anything like that if you're in that area, because it's going to be heavy rain, heavy flooding rain that's going to be extended in that area for that time. This has been the Weather Guru podcast for tonight. Thank you for joining me once again on this October 8th edition. Please be sure to subscribe and to donate, support this channel. I appreciate your support. Thank you very much.